Hi, I'm Allison and this is Nick. We're called Onion News because we just stink. Nick's on sports and I have some breaking news. Of the 2,500 people polled, 22% said they felt safer and 41% said they felt extremely relieved when Stewart began serving her 5-month sentence at West Virginia's Alderson prison. When I found out Stewart was behind a 10-foot thick concrete wall, I heaved a huge sigh of relief, said Daniel McAllen, a jeweler from Newark, New Jersey. If she were on the streets, who knows what sort of business maneuvering she'd be up to behind closed doors. I have a family to think of, McAllen added. Boston area teacher Helen Green said she had been afraid to leave the house before the verdict in Stewart's trial was announced. Martha Stewart avoided losses of $45,000 by selling that stock, Green said. $45,000. If they didn't put her in jail for that, people would have taken to the streets. Outraged citizens would have broken windows, overturned cars, and set fire to the courthouse. Even citizens who said they were only vaguely familiar with the Stewart case reported feeling safer after the conviction. I don't know the technical aspects of it, but I know that Martha Stewart did something with the stock market, Chicago welder Marvin Manchowitz said. I'm not sure if she was selling her own stock or someone else's, but I do know that everyone said it was wrong. I breathed easier when I found out she wasn't going to be doing any more of that again for 5 months. Of those polled, 62% said the 5-month sentence was inadequate, with 46% of those believing that Stewart should have been in prison for 10 years or longer, and 3% expressing the belief that she should have received a life sentence. Prosecutor Karen Patton Seymour said that in addition to the 5-month prison sentence, Stewart has been sentenced to 5 months of home confinement and 2 years of prison. Even after she's out of prison, she'll be kept under close watch, Seymour said. No one is going to forget what she did.
Olympic Committee Chief Executive Jim Scherr announced Thursday that the risk of contracting Olympic fever, the virulent international strain of athletic obsession that sweeps the nation every 4 years, has dropped to a historic low. The once infectious strain is no longer considered contagious, Scherr said. This largely is because of a years-long immunization campaign in which Americans were exposed to related strains such as NFL fever, March Madness, and the NASCAR infodemic. As results, most American sports fans have built up powerful immunities. Just look at the once menacing NHL, which has been completely as this year. According to Scherr, even children under the age of 12, a group once extremely susceptible to the fever, have been largely unaffected in recent years. Scherr warned that Olympic fever, which still affects hundreds of thousands in developing nations, could reemerge in the America if New York City carries out its plans to build sports complex on the disease-infested shores of the Hudson River by 2012. And that's your sports. Now we have Dan out there in the field right now with some breaking news.
We're on location with Dan now, our investigative reporter and fashion critic.
What's up? This is Dan Iannotta, your executive report. Now, here's what we got going on. We got Stephen J. Marks was driving on November 3rd near Nashville, Tennessee, wearing a ski mask and gloves, though the temperature was 60 degrees out. Now, an alarmed citizen called the police. However, Marks calmly said that he will wear this clothing any degrees below 80. And we've got criminals who accidentally left identification in their pants at the scene of the crime. Now, why they left their pants there, authorities have simply said that this was because...
Okay, we're actually supposed to come back to you for that. So, you only are supposed to read one story.
One?
One, and then back. We'll come back to you. Okay,
all right.
How come your earpiece isn't in? We really can't talk to you if you don't have it in. We're trying our hardest to tell you what's going on, and you don't have it in, so...
I can hear again.
Yeah.
We'll be back after this commercial.
Hi. Being there for kids is super good fun.
All it takes is a little know-how. Curiosity. The key to a lifetime of discovery.
Kids will go to mighty great lengths to impress you.
Kids know what's cool. Good thing you don't have to. Moments like these happen every day.
Lend your support. Go to bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
Until next time.
In November, a Hindu seer in India's Orissa state drew large crowds. Inspired by his calmness in his face of his announced spiritually induced death, which was to come before noon of November, on November 17th. At noon, however, he was still alive, and according to Asian Age newspaper, the crowd of 15,000 suddenly turned ugly, berating him for not dying, and police had to intervene. The man who was chief Sirik of Surignua Ashram told reporters, "I wanted to leave my mortal body, but I could not. Please forgive me." And now back over to Dan on location.
All right, we got these weird criminals. Now, they broke into a law office and forgot their pants, leaving their identification in the wallet of the pants. Both of them, Daniel P. Ader at 25 and Brian W. Crawford, 26, had...
Get his wireless mic working?
I'm not working.
Matt, wireless mic?
I don't want it.
Not working?
That's broke. Yeah.
Am I working now? Hey, how about that? All right, anyway. They left their identification in their pants, which they had taken off for separate reasons. The authorities think that Crawford had taken off his pants to photocopy his genitalia on the office copy machine. What is this world coming to? I don't know. Back over to them in the office. Evan Rydell has made reference to his December 20th Scrabble victory over his girlfriend, Amy Vanderplag, about 200 friggin' times. In the days since, Vanderplag reported, "Evan will not let the Scrabble game drop." Vanderplag, 23, said, "Constantly, he says stuff like, 'Do you need help reading that article?' Or, 'I know your vocabulary isn't best, judging from the round of Scrabble we played.' Giving